Hi, I'm Stuart and welcome to SIRENNET Television. We're going to take a look at the disassembling of a ULB14 or a ULB14, depending how you want to say it. Let's go over to Chris right now and see what he's up to.
Well, thank you, Stuart. I have here STAR's ULB14, better known as the StarBurst passenger side interior light bar. Contains 4 Gen 4 LED light heads, giving a nice effective punch, again, from the passenger side of your vehicle. Easy fitment, again, you can see it's low profile, non-intrusive from the headliner back off your sun visors, incorporated flash pattern adjustment, and great thing is plugs into your 12-volt lighter and includes an on-off switch. Or if you're wanting to, you can snip this off, hardwired into your controller or switches of your choosing. I've had some folks on our YouTube channel have some interest in seeing what's going on behind the top shroud here to make this unit what it is for its performance, or better yet, how it works inside when you take it apart. So with that, I'm going to take the shroud off, give you a little inside view as to what's going on. So with all the screws removed, the top can be easily removed. It's a one-piece powder-coated thin aluminum extrusion. Inside here is an aluminum bracket that affixes the light heads and also hides the wiring harness and main electronic array that powers the interior light bar. So I'll remove the one inner screw here. There is a second over here, but I'm not going to remove that here, and I'll show you why in just a moment. So go ahead, lift this array up here. You can see that the top screw from the other side here is connected onto a ground circuit, basically to ground all the LED heads inside the unit. Give you a better look how the 4 are inside here. The units are on a plug-and-play harness. So with that, should you want to remove a module set, rearrange colors, switch it from one vehicle to another, changing position of lights, even different colors later on, it can easily be done. So I'll give you a quick demonstration how the modules are removed. On top of each module is a diffuser. You can see it's nice and dished, vertical optics, and what that does is it helps improve the output of the 3 diodes. So the little diode then intensifies through the bottom dishing and then spreads out through the optics to give the impression of a full illuminated light head versus just 3 little diodes here lighting up and basically trying to make a lot of power without having useful optics to improve performance. Again, if you need to remove the actual diode set here, 2 screws will come out. Module can then be loosened, or well, really what's left of the module. Disconnect for 2-wire harness on the back. And there you have it. So really, these 4 units here are really what make the ULB14 the high-performance, potent interior light bar that it is. Let's give this a tip up here so you can get a bit of a close-up view as to what's going on inside the unit. So really, this is your main operating board inside here. So it takes the power from the 12-volt input harness, routes through, ties over to the incorporated flash pattern switch to adjust the modules, and in turn, with them routed from here through the harness to the operating board, basically acts as a smart unit, telling which ones to fire in sequence, and for pattern changing, what pattern the chip is now set to, so that way every time it turns on, turns off, off on, off on, off on, it'll retain the pattern it's set to. So really, like most LED products nowadays, it's really a smart, self-contained unit. Also though, before I put this back together, I can show you that should you need to ever switch out the pattern switch, it's held in with 2 screws on the side, 2 on the bottom, so it can be removed if necessary. Also, on the main board here, input connections can be loosened with a small flathead screwdriver to remove the wiring. So again, should you ever need to replace or change out the board assembly inside, disconnect harnesses, easily removes. So really, you don't have to go in, snip anything, and have to reconnect with crimp connections, butt connections, or soldering in any way, shape, or form. So really nice there. Again, very useful when everything is plug and play for easy upgrade or servicing. Put this back together here. Reposition it into its spot here on the inboard side. Really, for the other 3, the removal and the harness plug-in is identical. So really, need to switch anything around, like I mentioned earlier, for colors, it can easily be done. There's no size difference or harness difference. Two screws will go back into the center position versus the outside position here, which will hold the lens in place. Again, the harness here will plug in to the back of the module. There we go. Optic lens will now go over the front here. And if you're thinking that the modules here look a bit familiar, maybe you've seen them in something else, that is because it uses the same StarBurst Gen 4 diodes and optics as the StarBurst series mini phantoms. So if you're running units in conjunction, you want to have the cosmetic look of your warning lights around your vehicle to be the same. You can use the StarBurst series interior bars and then the StarBurst series mini phantoms to complete the look of your lighting all around your vehicle. So we'll take the small screw here, reposition it to hold the aluminum fixture back into the unit. Also, another feature of this aluminum piece here, not only obviously is it the mounting bracket that holds all the modules in place and also hides and keeps the wiring harness nice and positioned, it also acts as a large heat sink. So when the unit's been on for a bit of time, the diode assemblies get warm, the heat transfers through the aluminum and then dissipates through the unit. Top shroud will go on here. You can see the side here has a little drop and a little cut. So for positioning the harness going through the side, just make sure to realign that there. And now, go ahead, put in the series of screws that hold the unit together. I'll get to those that I just set aside in a moment here. And the last 2 screws here, which are shorter than the other mounts, actually go into the aluminum extrusion under the black powder-coated top here. So with that, the screws are a bit shorter because they're not grabbing into plastic raised post from the bottom of the shroud here. And now for my favorite part, we'll go ahead, plug it in, and light it up. So again, what's great is incorporated on-off switch, so easy on and off activation. So you can see here as we're blinding out the camera, very nice, very potent. Happens to be in all red, but if you'd like, different colors are available. So ambers, blues, mixtures of. Incorporated flash pattern selection button here, so every time you give it a push, it'll change the pattern that the unit flashes in. There's many different ones to choose from, so if you're looking for something slower, something faster, something more uniform sequence, or something with some really crazy trick attention-grabbing patterns, the ULB14 has it all for you. Thanks for joining me on SIRENNET Television for a bit of an inside look at Star's ULB14 interior StarBurst Phantom light bar. Back to you, Stuart.
Well, there you have it, a disassembling of a ULB14 from Chris, who put it all back together again, I can guarantee you. I hope he did anyway. And I'm Stuart, and as always, thanks for watching SIRENNET Television.